Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pesky podcast. My name is Ari Eiton, and with me, Robert Shelley, and we are going to talk about the Sox and baseball today. How's it going?
It's not going too bad. How about you, Ari?
Good, it's good. It's good,
All
getting
right.
warmer.
Yeah,
But yeah,
fortunately.
wishing
How
there was
warm's it getting?
baseball.
How warm's it getting up there in Maine? Because here in Tennessee, it is scorching.
We've had like a stretch of 4 or 5 days of like straight 80s.
That's good.
But it's really humid, so it's like that.
Yep.
You know, it doesn't sound too hot, but like with the humidity, you're gasping for breath, man.
Yep. It's
Yep.
90. Today. It's 93 here with
Woo.
90% humidity. It's
Nice.
not good. But anyway, with the weather small talk out of the way, we have a great episode for you. We got 2 little news segments we want to talk about, and then I have a bunch of questions for Ari that I've answered myself, but I've never really known Ari from a baseball sort of perspective. It's more like personal baseball questions for you, all right, that I've
okay.
answered too.
All right.
And Ari's not heard any of these questions, so this is going completely off the top of the dome. And we all remember the last time he went off the top of the dome. Roll the Kevin Pillar clip.
All right, who's your 14?
Kevin Pillar. And the reason being, this is just from what I'm seeing, okay? From my perspective as just listening and watching, okay, well, I'll just talk to you guys because you guys are the only, I don't think you guys are going to leave. His bat's emerged more the past couple seasons, specifically in San Francisco. Feels weird talking to nobody. I just told them. He hasn't put his earbuds in. I just told them that his bat emerged more in San Francisco. Move on. We gotta wrap this up. We're taking too long. Go ahead, Bobby. Who do you have? I feel like we have to roll this clip every single episode
Just to prove a point.
Well, no, it somehow makes its way in. It's really funny. I don't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like, welcome back to the Pesky podcast, and then it's like, roll the clip.
Kevin Pillar.
That might just be our intro.
All right. All right. We're rambling on. Let's get right into it. If you guys do like this kind of thing, make sure to support us. It means the world to us. Ari, what's our news clips?
So I saw something. So, we got the last episode, not the last episode, the last 2 episodes ago. We were talking about when baseball was going to come back in the whole 114 game season. So MLB has rejected that. And they said, we want other options. So the MLB, because the MLB and the MLB Players Association are kind of going back and forth. Like they can't figure it out. So Players Association said 114 games. MLB says, I think it was 79 games.
79 or 78. I can't
78,
remember.
yeah. And then you would, like, the playoffs would be in October still.
Yes.
Apparently, a lot of people in the MLB Players Association don't like that. I don't know. I mean, at this point, just play ball. I mean,
like, we need to get sports on the field as soon as possible. And I said the same thing last time, where the decision's going to be rushed. There's no getting around that. It's going to be a rushed decision. It's just, we already know that. It's not going to be perfect. We just need sports back. I don't even care if no one's allowed in the stands. You probably can't mic up players because people go off and it's not going to be family friendly.
That'd be funny, though.
It would be funny.
It'd be like Devers just like cussing a blue streak after striking out and be like, ooh, geez.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So
they'll figure that out, but it's got to be something that's like, we just need it now. We've been waiting too long. This is supposed to start back early April. We're now in June, and we still don't have baseball. And everyone else, you sent me a meme of this, and I'll try and find it and credit the person, but it's basically NBA has their crap together. NFL is going, okay, we're still planning to start on time, and then here's the MLB.
Got it. It was on Instagram. If you like baseball content, follow the BSBLR. All one word. They have, I don't know, should we just like insert the clip into
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Let's do that. Yeah.
But make sure you follow the Pesky Paul podcast too. Make sure you follow them.
Follow both of us because we're cool dudes.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but mine's on private. But
No, I meant like the pesky pole or the.
yeah. Okay. So you just want to get right into the questions?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
All right. So, first question I got for you is, what has your favorite moment of baseball been in your lifetime that you've personally watched? All right. You didn't have to watch it live, but you basically think of it as, if you were to look at a moment in baseball history in the time you were alive, you could say, if you don't like that, then you don't like baseball.
Can it be multiple?
You can do two.
Okay.
Because I got two kind of also.
You got two? Okay. So my number one, I think the best baseball game I've ever watched probably was, oh man, it's a toss-up. It's between the Cubs-Indians World Series game.
Yes.
That game. Or the game, was it Game 5 or Game 6 in 2019? Those games. And I watched all of it.
Mm-hmm.
I watched all of both of those games, and I was like, this is what baseball is. Like, you're going back and forth for a title, and then, like, in both cases, the away team won, and I just was like, oh, man.
Mm-hmm.
So that probably would be, like, what I would say. But, like, if we're talking Red Sox, probably would be probably the entire 2018 season. Just, I love that season. It was so much fun to watch.
Specific moment, like either a specific game or a specific play.
The Betts Grand Slam.
The Betts Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that entire at bat. Like that was 13 pitches, and he fouled off almost all of those.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah. No, it was crazy, man. So that's what I have to say.
So my two were, first is one I thought you were gonna say, 2013 Detroit Tigers.
Oh man.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good game.
I was lucky enough where I got to stand right at the point where that ball went over the fence, right where Torrey Hunter went over the fence. Right.
You were there?
I got to stand on the field right there.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
So
that's cool.
That same day, right? I was at the park with my sister, last game of the year against the Orioles last year. And that game, who was at the plate? I think it was JBJ was at the plate. Right? It was the bottom of the 8th inning. Score tied. JBJ hits a fly ball down the corner. It's going out. And the Orioles guy, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, jumps, catches it.
Stevie Wilkerson.
Yeah. Lands on his back, rolls over, catches his foot on the slanted part, and comes down with the catch. I saw that live, and I couldn't even be mad. That was the greatest catch I've ever seen, and I was lucky enough to see it live.
Easily.
That was nuts. I will put the clip in during editing so you'll know what I'm talking about. But that was crazy. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, no, crazy.
All right.
And the funny thing is, he's actually not an outfielder. He's the second
baseman. Yeah, right.
He's the second baseman, so it's like that says a lot about your athleticism.
Second baseman. We already talked about them a couple episodes ago. Their versatility is insane.
They're crazy, man.
All right. Second, going off of that, worst baseball moment you've seen?
The worst baseball moment I've seen probably was the 2017 postseason, like with the Red Sox. We just couldn't get anything together, and I was just like, ah! And that was Ortiz's last year, right? No, that was 16.
That was
17?
That was a terrible moment. Yeah, I know. And that team came back the next year and ended up winning it all. He could have stayed for one more year and just.
Because I thought, like, what if Ortiz even if he was like a DH, and I know he was getting old, but like even if he just stayed,
he wasn't even slowing down. He wasn't even slowing down. You usually have guys. Yeah, but you usually have guys like, who am I gonna say? You know, if you're an NBA fan, like Vince Carter, or guys like that who are Hall of Fame players that
Mhm.
once they get old, they just slow down, right? David Ortiz wasn't walking to the finish line. He sprinted straight through.
Yeah.
You know, he never really got worse. If you look up his last year was one of his best seasons.
Well, he hit
Statistically.
500 home runs. Like he got his 500th home run that year.
Yeah. Statistically, he was insane.
Yeah.
Right? But for me, I would have to say the worst moment I've seen in this game in light of this became clear after the fact, but when the Astros won the championship.
Really?
That
in
was
LA?
yeah, because it
Wow.
was just like if you looked at it, it was terrible for the game because it's always made the best team win. They were not the best team. I have to say
Yeah.
in my lifetime, there haven't been a lot of moments like that where I'm not talking like saddest like the Ortiz thing. I'm talking about worst, and
Hmm.
that was a real bad mark on the game that somebody who
Really?
didn't deserve it won.
That's funny.
You
That's
know,
funny that you say that because I was like, oh wow, like good for them. Like they're a fairly new franchise.
hmm
Like they got a championship.
So third question is who is the Red Sox X factor for you this season? Where it's going to be if this person does well or doesn't, it's a make or break. And I think we're going to have the same guy.
I think the easy answer is Sale.
But he's injured all year.
Oh, this year?
Yes, this
Oh,
year.
right. Duh. What am I talking about? Yeah, he's got Tommy John. I think the X factor probably. Sorry, forgot there was gonna be a season. um, I think probably it would be either JD or Erod. And both
Why's
those
that?
guys, like if they both do well, they'll carry the pitching and the offense. Like our defense is perfectly fine. Like we don't need to fix anything. Um, but yeah, that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. The
That's a toss up.
pitching definitely needs work, though, especially with
And
Sale
Erod,
out.
that Erod's got that
Yeah,
mojo.
we really have to pray.
Yeah.
But for me, and who I thought you were going to say was going to be Verdugo. We have no idea how he's going to perform off this injury. We have no idea how he's going to perform on a new team, in a new environment, in a new city. Yes, he's used to playing in those high pressure, high impact situations where he's in front of so many fans because he was in LA. But at the same time, this is Boston. All right,
He's
it's a
played
whole.
in Boston before, though,
I know, but
like a
no,
couple games. So it's not like he's
only a couple of
completely
games.
new.
Yeah, but at the same time, you got to
But no,
remember
yeah,
it gets cold in Boston, and when you're playing half your games, that doesn't seem like a big impact, but it is for a ton of players. Little
yeah.
things like that, I can't wait to see how he reacts to those little things, and hopefully
Hmm.
he absolutely thrives in this environment.
Hopefully, yeah,
I'm
yeah. I mean,
really praying for this.
he's more of a contact hitter than a power hitter, so it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I mean, he still hits for power, but like,
Mm-hmm.
if he was, someone like JD or Chavis who just like mashes balls, then I'd be like, but yeah, no, it'll
Mm-hmm.
be interesting to see what he does, for sure.
All right, next one. Who was the Sox best move this offseason, in your opinion? It wasn't a very eventful offseason,
To be
but
honest, I'm not happy with any of the additions.
really,
Not really. I think we were to like do a redo of the off season, we'd sign Rockhold. That's what I would
oh,
have done
I was pissed
for
at
sure.
that.
I mean, like once Mookie left, it's like okay, but like it's like oh yeah, by the way, we're not even gonna sign, Holt. I'm like what are you doing? But the biggest addition is that what you said? Biggest addition
Yes,
for trades or just like in general?
in general.
Okay, Verdugo.
Free agency, Verdugo.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, because he's gonna be our starting right fielder.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So you know who my in because mine is a very low risk, high reward kind of guy. All right.
I know who you're gonna talk about.
We already-
Pilar!
Yep. It's
No,
a very low risk, high reward move because in no way is he going to be starting over Benintendi, JBJ, or Verdugo just because unless those guys go on an insane cold streak,
Or if
JBJ.
you're looking at, I mean, Pilar's a right-handed hitter. So
Mhm.
our entire, what am I talking about? Entire outfield is all left-handed.
Yes.
So that's good to have a right-handed hitter come on and play for them,
Mhm.
if it's pinch hitter or whatever.
Yeah. And worst case scenario, he's a guy that comes and plays one out of every 3 or 4 games for a rest day for somebody else,
Mhm.
comes in, does his job in the outfield like we know he can, and
Yep.
then on the other days where he's not, come in to be a pitch hitter when those guys are struggling in the 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th inning in clutch situations and can still get you a decent hit and could steal a base or two.
Yeah, and I mean, I hope this never happens. But if any of our starting outfielders got hurt,
Break their back again.
break their back, Verdugo, then you can slide Pilar in there without any risk, like you said, because he's a great fielder. He can hit for power now, and he can steal a couple bases. He's not super fast, but he can move around the base paths a little bit.
Yeah. You definitely made it a meme, but it's still quality.
I was
quality
psyched.
player.
I was psyched when they signed him. I completely forgot about that. Yeah.
Apparently, you call him top 15.
Yeah.
They call him like top 11 too. It's like,
yeah.
What are you doing? But
Yeah.
let's see what's next. Okay, what team is the biggest threat to the Red Sox this year?
Besides the Yankees.
If you want to say Yankees, you can say Yankees. It's
Besides
not my team,
the
though.
Yankees are number one. Like, that's always, every year, we're like this.
Yeah.
But besides the Yankees, I think it's the Rays. Because the pitching staff's insane. They're a very deep, like, the depth chart in their team is phenomenal. Like, they're built for the future. And the players they have now are not terrible in any way. Like, offensive-wise and, defense.
Remember what I said about that Tampa Bay Rays team a couple episodes, starting pitchers episode?
Mm-hmm.
They're crafty. They're very crafty.
Yeah.
They know how to take let's say they're down by 1 in the bottom of the 8th. They're going to get that run back because they know how to play the small ball and they perfect the small ball. Instead of being one of those teams just be like, okay, our guys are professionals. They know what they're doing. We're going to let them ride it out and see if they can blast a home run. No, this team's like, okay, we're going to do whatever we can to get a guy into first. Then we're going to sack bunt. Then we're going to make sure we hit the ball that way to right field so he can at least get to third. If not, let him score. They're clutching the small ball. And that was the same team I picked too.
Yeah.
Because they were 12-7 versus the Red Sox last year.
Yeah.
And averaged 5 runs a game against the Sox.
Yeah.
There's no pitching against them.
Toronto's getting better. So that would be my number. So, like, in order, Yankees, Rays, Blue Jays, and then Orioles are, like, way down. You know, they don't.
No one cares about the Orioles.
They're a glorified AA team.
You know who else is a threat that I was thinking of before?
Who?
So if you think about it, Yankees are going to take the division this year. Red Sox are going to be fighting for a wild card spot. Another team that's really going to sit there and fight with them are the Athletics.
Or Cleveland.
Cleveland too, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Probably, yeah, definitely. But those were the 2 teams that came to mind for me. Mainly the Rays because we face them so much more. And if we could get a winning record against them this year, we'll be just fine.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh, where is my next question? I got 2 more for you.
All right, let's go.
If you were the Red Sox GM, what 1 or 2 guys are you bringing to this team realistically during the season?
During the season, like trade deadline type business?
Yes, like before the trade deadline, or say this player magically made it on the waiver wire. Something like that.
I first of all want to bolster the starting pitching. Bolster that. That's an issue. Because Sale's out for the entire year. And, I don't trust Martin Perez. or whatever his name is.
No one should. Never trust my team.
He really is like a long reliever. But I think depth chart wise, I think we're pretty set except for second base or first baseman. Although I'd probably move Chavis.
Nah, we're fine. We're fine with first base. We got more than Chavis.
Yeah,
we're fine.
So
second base is
If there was anybody that was like you said, magically made it on the waiver wire, I think it'd be Holt. I want to pick that guy up. Like that guy, if he's not playing, if he's not starting, he can play literally everywhere but catcher and pitcher. So he's a great addition, for the bench. And on top of the fact, he's a great contact hitter. Yeah, and I think he really does love the Red Sox. So that's the one person I bring back, and then I probably just look for a starting pitcher. I don't know who, or what, but yeah.
If I'm the Red Sox, I'm bringing in the two guys I'm bringing in are a reliever that's gonna complement Workman really well, and a starter that's gonna add some depth to us. Because realistically, right now, we only have a 3-man, maybe 4-man pitching rotation.
Yeah,
we do not have a 5. So two guys I would bring in are from the Braves, relief pitcher Will Smith.
Ooh, that's a big contract.
Yes, but so I think they can still get it done. They have plenty of bad contracts on there. Get Rusney Castillo's contract out of AAA and a young prospect, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, is it a multi-year deal? Is it like more than 2?
I believe so. I'll put it up on screen in editing, but
yeah, all right.
And then the second guy.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We're going to the Texans or Texas Rangers. Shut up. Shut up.
JJ Watt.
We're going with Lance Lynn. The second guy. And especially with the Texans being always that kind of halfway decent, halfway struggling kind of team, it wouldn't be too unrealistic for them to sell on a guy like Lance Lynn and give us. He is 31. He's either 29 or 31, so he's not. He's in his prime. 30. He's in his prime right now, and they could still get something positive for him. A nice young asset. I think it'd be good fit.
Or would you go for Mike Minor?
Personally,
Minor's a little bit younger. I think they're both lefties. But Lynn does have more experience.
Mm-hmm. And that's something, especially for a playoff-seeking team like the Red Sox still are, that you need is just experience.
Yeah, especially because not a lot of those guys, with what starting pitching we have, we don't have a ton of experience on that. So.
Yeah. All right. Next, and the final question: what are your expectations for this team this year? We don't know how many games we're going to play yet, so we can't go record-wise. But
here's the thing. So this whole shortened season could actually work to an advantage for the Red Sox because you can play less games. The games will count more or less. Like they'll be more worth to the games. But I think I expect them to maybe. Dude, they're not going to win the division. I highly doubt they're going to win the division. I hope that they can get, a wild card spot. And like you said, we're fighting the Rays, for that AL East wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Or what AL East second.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're a wild card team, which is sad because I think that, if Sale was still here, we probably would be like a solidified,
wild card. Yeah.
Wild card for sure. Yeah. Yep.
So who was the Red Sox GM last year? Well, I can't remember his name.
Oh my word. Dave Dombrowski.
Dombrowski. Yeah. Screw that guy.
That guy is brought into teams for one reason.
To win one championship and
win the championship as fast as you can, and then he's not meant for multiple year contracts. Unlike Bloom is meant for 3 or 4 year contract. Dombrowski is like a maybe 2-year guy, and then he's like, that's gone.
Yep.
Because you saw people like Moncada, which I don't really like Moncada anyways, but good talent, not being wasted, but being shipped off without kind of a thought. And it was like, okay, all right. And it eventually paid off. But
they did win. But at the same time, the one thing I always go to is the trade deadline last year, where we're sitting there on trade deadline day, anxiously waiting, and there's rumors they're going to get this player, and there's rumors they're going to get this player, and nothing happens. I was
ticked off because, one, they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And two, I was like, if anything, bolster the bullpen. It's like, we're not having a good season, but the bullpen is just atrocious.
They got that one guy from, I think, the Orioles who literally came in and did absolutely nothing.
Oh, my word. Yeah.
They had a nickname for him that was terrible. I can't remember his name.
Oh, yes! Yes! Yes, he had a big beard.
Yeah.
And, like, a really weird haircut. Not weird. It was kind of dope. But his name was Andrew
something. It's on the tip of my tongue.
Andrew Kashner. And his nickname was
Andrew Trashner.
Andrew Trashner.
Oh, I remember.
Hey, you know what, though? You know what? When we picked him up, I was like, oh.
We actually did something.
Well, no, it wasn't that. I was actually excited because I was like, this guy has only been on really crappy teams. And if you look at his stat line, it's really pretty good.
And then it came to the Red Sox.
And then he came to the Red Sox and just like completely wet the bed.
Yeah.
I was like,
I was going to use the same words.
What the heck are you doing?
Mm-hmm. But going back to what I was saying, Dombrowski sucked, and I'm glad they got him out of here. But just a change and shift and trying to go through the offseason like that, I think they still did pretty well.
Offseason?
There was some, because they fired
them more.
What?
I think Bloom sat on his hands too long. Like the whole Betts trade took way too long.
Yeah.
And then it was like the whole, wait, is he traded? Is he not traded? Who are we getting in return? And we've talked about, that. But they could have done something else. They could have, there were so many other pitchers you could choose over Perez that, they're thinking, oh, he's a lefty. He's a little bit older. He has experience. And it's like, his experience, he played with Texas. And like we said before, Texas is a very middle-of-the-road team. Mm-hmm. So it's like you can't base, stat lines and stuff off of mediocre teams.
Yes. But, yeah, for me, Red Sox are going to be wild card team, lose in the second round to I'm going to, and the playoff format might be different. We don't know, but I'm talking about standard playoff format.
Yeah.
Probably losing in the second round to the Yankees, if I had to guess. Which hurts.
Although we have pretty good record against the Yankees in the postseason. It's pretty good. Mm-hmm. So I think if we get over that first wild card, then I think we're a little bit safe. But the wild card teams are scary.
Mm-hmm. But like we could have a Tampa Bay Rays season where all last year they were like, oh, it's the Tampa Bay Rays. They're going to crumble. We just have to wait it out. We're worried about the Athletics. It's Tampa Bay Rays. They suck. We'll be fine. They're going to crumble soon. Wait, it's August. They're going to crumble soon. Holy crap, it's the middle of September. They still haven't crumbled. Oh, wait, they won.
Yeah. And on top of the fact, like, this is nice. This year almost reminds me of 2013 because there's such low expectations. So it's like, it can only, well, really, we can suck.
We could be like 40 wins. Yeah, not.
But, what were people saying about 2013?
Hey, if you think about it, if they do get 40 wins, tickets will be a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I could go down there and go to games all the time.
I'm hoping the season's back by September, because if it is, I can guarantee you I'm going to at least 5 games minimum. Yeah. Like I'm gonna be there all the time. But with that being said, that's everything I got. Let's get on to Ari's takes one time.
So, Ari's takes. We're kind of changing a little bit. Switching sports. And I think
now, before you guys, before you say anything, just so you guys know, I idea on what Ari's takes is going to be ever.
I don't even know what the ideas are. I usually come up with these like a day or maybe the day of. I'm like, oh, yeah, we'll talk about that. So I gotta ask you, from a Patriots standpoint.
Say that again.
From a Patriots standpoint, where do you see the Patriots in 2019, 2020? 2020. We're in 2020. Crap, what am I talking about?
Now, I'm a huge football dude.
Yeah.
And many people, Ari and I have a fantasy league together that we have with a couple of our friends. And Patriots-wise, I still think they have a lot of good pieces. And we're going to really see this year which is more valuable, having a good quarterback or having a great head coach. We're going to see which is more valuable. And I personally think it starts with the head coach. It all starts with the head coach, and the quarterback complements the coach. But
I'm excited about Stim. I really am. I've been talking about, with some of my other friends. I'm like, dude, this guy, like, he's not like the next big thing probably, but
I think I didn't want Stidham as a starting QB. Can I be completely honest with you for a second? You're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh.
No. Oh, you want Cam?
No, I wanted Jameis.
What the heck?
I seriously wanted Jameis, and here's
James
why.
Winston, really?
He's not afraid to throw the ball, as we have seen. He's not afraid to throw it. He had great touchdowns. He had great passing yards. He's not afraid to sling the rock. Yeah, he had great passing yards. He's had terrible interceptions.
Yeah.
Right? And I think with adding Bill Belichick to that, he could really hone that in and be like, okay, here's how we make smart throws. And it wouldn't have surprised me with that coaching if Jameis Winston could have been a borderline Pro Bowl player.
Really? Wow. Okay. All right.
That's why I wanted Jameis.
You know what? I mean, it's interesting. This is the first time in years and years and years that they're having to rebuild. So, I mean, like, I think hopefully they can, build a team around Edelman. Start off there. And the defense. They can build it around him. Like, who does, like, basically, like, I think he's going to be the number one receiver. Like, Sanu.
Oh, no doubt.
Sanu is the biggest bust I've seen.
Yeah, and he was like, so good in Atlanta. They came here and he wet the bed.
Yeah, he did.
But the guy they're going to rebuild around is Sony Michel.
Okay. I would either say
no doubt in my mind about that.
Because of his playmaking abilities or the entire defense. Like,
the defense is still great.
Oh,
they lost Van Noy. They lost somebody else who I can't remember right now.
Oh, he's another lineman.
But the defense is still extremely solid.
Oh, for sure. And
it's going to be the offense that's lacking.
But if you have a defense like the Patriots, you don't need to, run out the best offense. So it's going to be interesting. This NFL season is going to be very interesting.
Mm-hmm. And hopefully we start on time, and hopefully we get baseball soon.
Yeah.
So with that being said, that's all we got for right now. Ari, you got anything else?
I don't think so. I think I'm good. Right. Oh, if you haven't checked out the interview that Bobby did, I had some things going on, but check the video out. I watched it. It's really pretty cool. Just to hear, someone's perspective outside of the Red Sox organization talk about baseball.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's something we should really do more is interviews. I definitely want to get some guys in the Sox organization because that's our team. Those are our guys. Those are the guys that we could potentially see in 4 or 5 years up in our Red Sox uniforms. But I do like going to the other guys because that was really actually informative. If you guys didn't watch it, Travis Kuhn is a very, very... I only talked to him. You guys saw the entire face-to-face conversations that I've had with him. And in that time, I've learned he is a very confident yet humble guy. He knows, okay, I'm not one of the best ball players in the league, but I know my skills and I know how hard I work to get here, and no one's going to tell me no. If I'm not good enough, I'm going to work harder. He's one of those guys. He's very confident in his abilities. He knows what he can do. And if you watch his stories on Instagram, he can throw the ball. I wouldn't be surprised if he's hitting 97.
Cool.
Dude's 5'10", 225 pounds. Like, he's killing it.
Yeah.
So, that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate every single one of you. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Is it bad